let's create this beautiful flower effect using just a plastic bag. So I'm starting out with my fractal pens, and all I'm doing here is just mapping out like a branch or a twig, and then I am just pulling them off in different directions using this edible pen. Now I'm using a cutter just to give myself a little gauge so that I know exactly where I'm going and keeping it circular. So there's my bag. All I've done is put some water in the bottom and then tied it into a knot really tight. So I've put a dark colour on the outside and brought the lighter colours in, and then round the outside again with that dark colour. So we're going to go straight on top here. The point of the bag is towards the middle so that you get the petal side coming out. Now my arm is going to be slightly in the way here, I am sorry. So all I'm doing is putting it onto the cake and moving it backwards and forwards, so a rocking effect. So I managed to get 2 petals out of one colour batch. So once I've done those 2, I go back in and I just touch it back up again, and there we go, or back on again, touch and rock it backwards and forwards, and this is such a lovely effect. So I'm starting on the outside and I'm coming in. Now the reason that we keep that darker amount around the outside is it gives some definition so you can see where the petals kind of begin and end. So now I'm going on to the next one. This is going to be a different effect. Instead of just the fanned one, it's going to have like a back to it. So we're doing 3 petals around the back, and then we're coming in either side and filling those in. And then we're going to move on to the leaves. So we've got a tinier bag, so less water in this one. And then we're going in with green. And this is the leaf bag, and it's also for the buds on the bottom. So I'm just taking that, and instead of the point coming inside, we're going to point it downwards instead. So you can see that I've done that here. Now, if you're not quite happy, you can just fan it out a little bit to make it a little bit fatter, more realistic. Then onto the leaves. So again with those, we're just dabbing now. Before we were doing this rocking motion all the time, now we are just dabbing. Now that didn't come out properly, and if it doesn't, then just touch it back in again. Now I'm going in with a white on the inside just to show you that you can get those different colours, and the more you build up the colours, the more definition that you get. So you can see that there. This is actually going to be a bud, so I'm going to put the colouring of the rose on the inside. If it's a rose, or is it a chrysanthemum, or is it a pansy? I don't know. Anyway, it's a pretty flower. Keep going. So pop on randomly around your leaves. So just push it on and off to the side. You can see me doing it just there. It's ever so simple. Now I am going back in with that colouring, so I've got the purple on the back and the white across the top. Define those sides to make sure that you'll get those dark lines. And then we're going to dab that inside those buds there. And that is just going to look so effective. This is all so simple, just with a sandwich bag. That's what I'm using. I have been asked. It's just a plastic thin sandwich bag. You can't use piping bag because it's too thick. So that's all of those done. Now I'm just going to go over my pen mark just here. You could leave that guided pen mark as your effect, but I just wanted to thicken it out a little bit. So if your hands are a little bit jaggedy, don't worry about that in any way, because we're going to make that up a little bit to make it look like thorns. So that is going to finish off this look. I absolutely adore this, honestly. All you need to do is just make your bag smaller, smaller, bigger, bigger, whichever way you want, by altering the water on the inside, and make sure that you use an oil-based colouring, and you can just use a little bit of dipping solution or vodka just to thin that down. I'm just popping in a last little bit there of the purple in the middle parts and some white just to pull it out and make it 3-dimensional. And it's all done. So I used Colour Mill for this, and all the links are below.